Hi everyone. So today I'm here to share about this very special wedding card I made for someone recently. I was asked to make a card for a couple, both of whom who are heavy metal fans. And this is what the card looks like. I think it turned out absolutely fantastic. I was asked to use dark colors, and that image in the middle that you can see, that is their favorite album cover, to use a drum set since he is a drummer, and for her, who is a poet, to add a little pen and paper symbol in there. So I used so many techniques on this card that I'd never used before, but I will definitely use again. I just fell in love with so many things while I was making this one. So for the base of the card, I decided to go with a black color, and the printed paper that you can see there is a dark musical note paper that I bought on Etsy. It's a digital paper, and you can see a scripty note in there where I'm pointing right now, and that is actually a piece of her poem, the bride's poem, which I cut up into parts and I placed it here and there and everywhere. I think it adds a lovely personal touch to the card. I also decided to use this metallic paper in copper color. First I was gonna go with silver, but I thought then that it matched the main image in the middle much better to use the copper. So that's why I went with that one. As you can see, I backed it up behind every single panel on the card. I took my black STAZN ink and dragged it from top to the bottom of the copper card, and once it was dry, I cut them to size whatever I needed. So I used that same technique on the fence again on the bottom of the card, except I took it a step further. After the STAZN ink dried, I used my Versamore clear ink exactly in the same motion from top to bottom, and I applied clear embossing ink to it. I believe this technique is called the black ice technique, which I've seen done so many times before, but I never tried myself. Now I love it. It adds such a lovely texture. I'm not sure the camera picks it up at all, but it really is lovely. On the top of the card, I used buntings, which were cut out of black cardstock, and I used Wow clear embossing powder to make them shiny. For the letters on this side and the numbers on the other side for the date, I used white cardstock with Wow rose gold embossing powder. It gives a lovely metallic look, and that same embossing powder I applied to the pen and paper image and also the drum set. For the flowers on the bottom of the card, I used, I believe it was just white cardstock if I well remember, and I double heat embossed it with black ebony embossing powder from Wow. And for the middle of the flowers, sorry, it's a bit out of shot now, but I will bring it back in a minute. I used the same rose gold Wow embossing powder. For the foliage, I used Chloe's Dazzling Foliage set, one leaf stamp from that set, and used rose gold embossing powder over black cardstock. So here I just inserted a close-up image of those flowers. Look at that lovely shine on them. I really think they turned out so beautiful and just really fitted the theme, I thought. Here's another picture just very quickly. And this one shows a close-up of that lovely detail on the fence too. Now, the card base itself with these measurements came from Sam Calcott's Double Z Fold card. She made that a couple of years ago. I have a very similar tutorial on my channel below with slightly different sizes, and I'm just showing to you. There's a wee pocket that I created on my design where you could add the little note hiding inside the pocket. I will link to it below if anyone wants to check it out. Now I made a matching box, keepsake box, for this card as well. I used black cardstock to create the base of the card. On the top I added an extra layer of black cardstock and just used Wow embossing powder, again that same rose gold on the edge. It's just very rustic look. I used my Versamark pen to add that kind of a look to it. I think it turned out just amazing. Now, for the decorative tag on the top of the box, I used that same copper cardstock with the STAZN ink dragged on it, the same way I described before. And for the top layer, which I added on foam pads, I used that same printed paper that you will find link below if you want to check it out. For the flower, actually in this one I applied one coat of rose gold and then one coat of black embossing powder. It gave it a real lovely look to match that tag. I think it's just such a beautiful card. This is why I love handmade cards. You know, you can create something that you won't see in the shops, real personalized, real fitting for the theme or the person that you're making it for. I think this is just absolutely amazing. Now, I didn't record a tutorial making this card, but if you guys are interested in trying to find out how I made things, just let me know in the comments below and I will be sure to try to come up with something to use these techniques to create something very similar. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so, and give me the thumbs up. Any comment, any interaction helps my channel to get seen by more people. And I will soon be back with another lovely video. So until then, thank you and bye!